is John, also known as Gamester81, and this is my updated room tour. It's kind of what I call a mini museum of consoles. This does not include every console I own. I have a number of clone consoles I do not have on display, but this is a good portion of my collection of systems. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It's in high definition. Let's take a closer look. We're going to go through this collection in chronological order, as close to anyway as possible. We're going to top left corner here is the Odyssey 1. This is by Magnavox. It came out in '72. It is known as the very first system ever released. It's fairly rare. These are all pawn clones up to this point, except for here, right here. This is the Atari Video Music. It came out in 1976. Not necessarily a system, but it's really cool because you can hook it up to like a record, and it has visuals to the TV, to the music, so it's really neat. Very rare, only was out for 1 year. Come to here, this is the Studio 2, if you can look up top there. This is the first system with interchangeable games. Only a handful of games were ever released. This music comes out of the system. A lot of these systems actually use batteries, which is interesting, like D batteries. Come up to here, more pawn clones. This right here, the orange one. That is actually the Nintendo TV Color 15 system. One of the very first Nintendo systems released, only in Japan. This is the Bandai TV Jack 1500. You got Toshiba pawn. This right here is a Fairchild F. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's also one of the very first systems came out with interchangeable cartridges. It predates the Atari 2600. Right here is a pretty rare system as well. This is the Bally Home Library Computer. This is a mail order only version. Came out in 1978, 1979. Pretty rare by Bally. This is the Magnavox Odyssey 2. We got one of my favorite systems here. This is the ColecoVision. You got the expansion module, allow you to play Atari 2600 games. Next to it, to the right of it, is the APF MP1000 system. Really rare. Came out in New York. Most of these are actually in the Northeast. Not many actually came out to the West. Pretty rare. This is the Arcadia 2001. Also a system that came out in the late 70s, very short-lived. You got the Intellivision, a little bit more known. You got the Intellivision 1, Model 2. You got the Intellivision 3. And this is the Radio Shack Tandyvision. This attachment right here is actually a voice modulator for the Intellivision, which is neat. Starting back over to the left side, we got the Super Video Arcade. This is a Sears version of the Intellivision. These are all my Atari 2600 models. You got different models here. This is a Sears Telegames, also by Sears. This is the Junior. You've also got the Vader version. This is all black. I like the name Vader for sure. And then you got the Sears Video Arcade 2. This is a pretty rare version. It was released in Sears. That is also based on the Atari 2800 model in Japan. Right here is the Gemini. Above that is the Columbia Home Arcade. This is only available through the Columbia House mail order. That's a 2600 clone. Sega SG-1000 Model 2, only released in Japan. Beneath that is a Dyna 2-in-1. Allows you to play, it was a mail order only, allows you to play ColecoVision and SG-1000 games in one. So SG-1000 predates the Master System by a number of years. This is the Atari 5200. That is definitely a beast, a huge system. This is a Sharp Famicom. It basically allows you to play Famicom games and disc games in one. This is the pink version, or the red version also is available in black. You got the Nintendo Famicom and the disc system. This is Japan only. Many of us know, are familiar with Nintendo. You got the Nintendo Model 2, the top loader. This is a more rare one. You also got the Sega Master System, one of the underrated systems. I really like the Master System. This is Model 1, you got the Model 2 here. This is the MSX computer. This is a Casio version. There's a number of versions that were released for the MSX computer. Atari 7800. You got the Socrates. You got the Action Max. This is an educational game. This was based on VHS tapes. Love this system. This is the TurboGrafx 16 with CD attachment. You got the Turbo Duo, which is a really fairly rare version of that as well. The PC Engine, which is one of the small systems released. PC Engine Shuttle, and this is the Super Graphics. It kind of ugly, looks like an engine. Many of us are familiar with this. This is the Sega Genesis, also known as a Mega Drive in other countries. We got the power base converter to allow you to play the Sega Master System games. You got the Model 1 Sega CD, which is the more uncommon version. You got let me take this down here. You got 32X, the Sega Model 2, Genesis Model 2, the Sega CD. This is the Genesis Model 3. You got the CDX, which is the cool version. It's portable, plays Sega CD games and Genesis games in one. The JVC is the same thing by, this is the XI. This is the MegaJet. This is a Master System that was only available through airlines. And basically the whole idea was you can play sitting in your in the airplane and testing out different games. Never really sold to the general public. This is the Super Famicom, Super Famicom 2 and Model 1, and Super Nintendo Model 1 and 2. This is the Amstrad. Many people in the UK probably recognize the system. Never was released in North America. This is the Casio Loopy. This is one of the first systems really only targeting towards girls, female gamers. I have the top case that's behind my arcade, so I just need to access that. But there's a printer in here, which is interesting. This is the Fujitsu FM Towns Marty, which is this is Model 1. There's also a second model I don't have, but this is the Amiga CD32. This is by Commodore. This is only sold in really Canada and Europe, never really sold in the States. This is known as the very first 32-bit CD console. Moving on to the Panasonic, this is a 3DO. You got the Gold Star version, you got the FC1 and the FC10 up top. This is the top loading version. One of my favorites is the Neo Geo. This is the AES model. You got the big ass cards here, and you have the memory card. You can take the memory card, plug it into the MVS, the arcade, go to the arcades and continue the games there. Love the joystick, that's awesome. This is Neo Geo CD-Z. This is the CD version, but this is a faster version. You got the Sega Saturn. You also have the V Saturn, which is the Japanese version of that. This is the Funtech ACAN. Only released in Taiwan, very rare system, 16-bit console, released in 1995, pretty late actually, I believe it's when it was released. This is the CDI, this is the Model 490, we also got a couple 300 models, these are portable, 2 portable versions. And we've got the Jaguar and the Jaguar CD. The CD attachment is fairly rare, this one actually does work. Okay, what I have here, this is one of my favorite items in my collection. This is the Nintendo M82, this is displaying it. I remember going to the Nintendo store back in the day in the mall and testing out Nintendo games using this type of system. This is basically you can put in 12 Nintendo games and it will allow you to test out games. You can change the games there. Above this is the Pioneer Laser Active, pretty rare system as well. It allows you to play Laserdiscs, which are awesome to watch movies on. But also right here you can plug in Genesis games. Also plug in Sega CD games, load them in, and reads that. There's also a pack will allow you to read TurboGrafx 16 games, which is awesome. Right here we have the Super Famicom box, only released in Japan, only available in hotels in Japan, and it basically is another display system that allows you to test out games. And the cartridges are pretty big, pretty bulky, it's pretty rare. There's one also for the Famicom, I do not own that. This is the Vectrix. This is a little out of sequence, but it's only because this is a little heavy, it's hard to display, but love the system. It plays vector graphics. Taping the graphics on a camera recorder does not do it justice. It's very crisp, very clear. Definitely look to get one of these, it's awesome. This is the Atari XEGS system, game system, and this is basically an Atari computer that's going more console-wise. Pretty fun, actually. This is the TI-99-4A. This is Texas Instruments' first go in making consoles or computers. Pretty cool vintage computer. This is a Commodore Plus 4, one of Commodore's flops for computers. Moving on to Commodore, we got the Commodore 64. This is actually my grandfather's original Commodore 64 that I grew up actually playing. And then this is the floppy disk drive. And you got the VIC-20, which is an earlier Commodore system that came out before the 64. This is what they call the bread box version. There's also a Model 2, which is a little thinner, skinnier. I don't have that. But this is Apple Macintosh SE computer. This is the kind of computer I actually grew up in elementary school playing Oregon Trail and other classic games. A lot of fond memories. This is a Mattel Aquarius computer. Kind of a weird, it's got a weird membrane keypad there, but that's interesting. These are some classic Atari 400 and we got Atari 800 computers down here. This is the Commodore SX64. Essentially this is a portable Commodore 64, one of the very first portable colored computers. It's portable, I use the term lightly, you have to plug it in, and also it's very, very heavy. This is Apple IIc, the original computer I had growing up as a kid. Very fond memories playing King's Quest, a whole bunch of old classic Sierra games. Here's a monitor. We've got the printer to the right of that. This is the Commodore 64 printer. We've got the Amiga 500. I know a lot of you guys are big fans of the Amiga, great series of computers. Got the Commodore 128. Now if you guys are wondering about where I keep my handhelds, I actually do not on display currently, but they're all in here. And we got the original Game Boy, we got a couple Tiger handhelds. This is Game Boy Color. This is a Microvision, the first handheld with interchangeable games. A whole bunch of Game & Watches. We have some more Game & Watches, Gamecom. And I own quite a few handhelds, various handhelds, but they're all in there, okay? As far as games go, they're all in these drawers right here. There's approximately about a little over 2,000 games. Come over here, we got start with the Wii, PSP. We got DS games, Gizmondo games. This is my 360 collection so far. We get the PS3 games are down here. These are my just controllers and stuff I have down there. This is PS1 games, all in here. This is the 360 games I have here. You know, you get the Midway Treasures games, Halo, and these are cool. These are the e-reader, Nintendo e-reader. These are for the Game Boy Advance e-reader. That's pretty cool. Those are games for that. N64 games. I got Jaguar games. I got N64 DD games here. Some of them of these are unopened. We got some Jaguar games here in box. These are 2 copies of Atari cards, 2 of those. We got Jaguar CD, 3 games that have never been opened here. That's pretty cool. These are PS1 games, CDI games. GameCube, Dreamcast games are in here. These are my 3DO games. We've got a Neo Geo CD games right here, Saturn games. These are just some Sega Genesis games. Some of my Super Nintendo games, Box Genesis games. Master System games right here. These are more Nintendo games right here. Super Famicom games. Sure. These are more Super Nintendo games. TurboGrafx 16 games here. Super Famicom games. These are Sega CD, Neo Geo. Right there. These are just Atari 2600 games, Intellivision games, 5200 games. You know, we got Test Chainsaw Massacre right there. These are arcade games right here. More Nintendo games, ColecoVision games, Channel F. These are the games. It almost looks like an 8-track. It's pretty cool. Last one. These are just all Nintendo games right here. So. Okay, so we're going to start over here, top left corner. This is my Ultimate Arcade 2. We've got 100 games in one. This is also a Cocktail Arcade. I have about 39 games in one, like Classic Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. I have 3 more arcades that eventually I plan on putting over here. At least 2. Donkey Kong 1 is one, Star Wars Arcade is another. No game room is complete with an autographed picture of Johnny Millennium and Raw Man. They signed that for me. That's done by hand, though. It's a pretty cool poster to have in a game room for sure. Good guys. Let's go up here. We've got the Virtual Boy, top left corner. We got the the Apple Pippin, released in 1995. That is a rarity. That's the world version. It's a black version too, and that's a Bandai and Apple. They got together and made a console, and it flopped. Above that is the Playdia. That's a Japanese-only system. Kind of interesting. This is the Nintendo 64. Beneath that is the 64 DD. Above that is a TriStar 64 attachment. It allows you to play Nintendo and Super Nintendo games through the Nintendo 64. This is the VIS. This is the PC FX. This is by NEC. It's kind of successor to the TurboGrafx 16. My Dreamcast. This is a portable. Well, I use the term portable loosely. That's actually a Dreamcast with an attachable screen. Dreamcast, the Sega Sports version Dreamcast. This is the PlayStation 1. This is the Net Urazi. This is a development kit for the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 with melting screen. This is a PSX. This is only available in Japan. It's basically a PS2 with a DVR. There's a hard drive in there. You can record TV shows. PS2 Model 1. This is a GameCube with Game Boy Advance attachment. This is the Panasonic Q, and this is a pretty rare one as well by Panasonic. Basically, it's a GameCube and DVD player in one. You have the VTech Flash. You got the Pico, Sega Pico. Going down here, you've got the Atom. This is by Commodore. This is this is a Coleco Atom. Right here, I got the Coleco Atom. You got the Toshiba. This is a Nuon. It's actually a DVD, but also has games for it. You got the Hyperscan. You got the Zavix port, Zavix system. Kensington V. This is a Wii clone. Right here we have the Messiah Generation Next clone with joystick. Okay, we got the Xboxes here. This is the original. This is Xbox Mountain Dew Edition, only limited to 1,000. This is Xbox Halo Special Edition, and this is the original Xbox with built-in, like, well, this is a screen attachment. Okay, so also here I got my Rock Band peripherals, and then also have, this is the Miracle Piano by Nintendo. Really cool attachment for Nintendo. I love that thing. This is my modern consoles, the Wii, PS3. This is the 60 gig one. Also we got a 360 Slim. Okay. And this is my TV I play most of my games on. I've got the Kinect right here, and then right here we got Rob the Robot with the Power Glove. We got Pure Solar. I love Captain N, the Game Masters TV show growing up, so I have the complete series of that. And this is actually cool. This is Dr. Kong. This is Hank Chen. He's the record holder for Donkey Kong, one of my favorite games. We had him on my podcast, Allgengamers, and he signed this copy for me. That's really cool. So over here, we've got just more storage. This is the Resident Evil 4 controller for the GameCube, and then we've got some controllers where I store a whole bunch of stuff. Dance Dance Revolution, Mario Mix, another Power Glove. This is a smaller version of that. And we got the Power Pad here as well. So anyway, guys, appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Take care.